we reconnected. He was over in fine arts building 6 hours a day. I didn't have no job. I was working at a temp agency. I only had housing. I was going through it. I couldn't be in school, but so I just was hanging out with him in fine arts, watching these 5 dudes alphas practice for this big talent show. 2 days before the talent show, 2 of the dudes quit. They were scared. They didn't want to get, because they knew it was real hostile. It was just like impossible, man. And so they quit. Now I had been just hanging out with D for maybe 5 weeks of them 6 hours a day in the bottom of fine arts, practicing If I Ever acapella, Comforter acapella, Baby I'm Yours acapella.
Oh, so hold on. So all those songs were already written?
Yeah, Carly and Darnell had written those songs before I even got into the group. Well, before I did this show with them, those were just practice songs. Those were songs that they had written.
Wow.
One day, but really they were to get the vocal chops good, because there's certain parts of those songs where you got to hold the harmonies out. They got the different, fifths and different harmonies. And so I had been watching this for weeks. And so when the dudes quit, they went from 5-part harmony to just 3-part harmony. And they had to have at least 4-part harmony to do those Boys II Men songs that they was gonna do. Yeah. Like, yo, G, man. Darnell was like, yo, G, I know you know the bass. You've been here all this time. I know you know the bass. I was like, all right, you know what I'm saying? I know the bass, but I'm fresh coming out the nation. I ain't even thinking about singing and being in no show. But I used to always sing with him freshman year to the girls, because Darnell's dad, Darnell came from, remember Joe Clark, the East Side High School?
Yeah. And Patterson
went to that school, and those dudes riff that sung in the bathroom. Darnell's dad, not only was he the counselor or the social worker for the school, but he was their manager, Riff. So we knew all of their songs before they came out back in those days. And we used to go to the adjacent dorm and sing them songs to the girls hanging off their balcony.
And they didn't know it was a song that was already out. He
was about to be out. We was singing all these little songs.
Giving them a sample.
And so D knew I could sing a little bit from that. And so when this situation happened, I covered down, next man up type of thing. Damn. My dad is Q, but they was, so I couldn't pledge that, and that's when I ended up going into the nation. And so I joined them for that show, and I just thought I was gonna play the back, I was gonna help do the little 4-part harmony, but I was just, I was gonna, I was support. I couldn't fathom or even think about one day being in some record deal situation. That was not an aspiration of mine. I was an educator. I worked on Capitol Hill for the Senate Judiciary Committee. I was a political science major. I was about my books, man, to be honest with you. And I played basketball. My team, Brockton High School, Brockton, Massachusetts, we was ranked number 22 in the nation by USA Today. I had scholarship offers to play ball. I had a 38-inch vertical, you know what I mean? I thought, I was a ball player.
So are you from Boston originally?
I was I was born in Nashville, Tennessee.
That's what I thought. Okay, yeah.
But I didn't stay there. I was born in Meharry Hospital in Davidson County. I remember that. And then my parents moved to Knoxville. And when I was 6 years old, they moved to Alabama, Montgomery.
Oh, wow.
Matter of fact. And they worked at Alabama State University. And my first through third grade was on the campus of Alabama State. They had an early childhood education program that was off the charts to be a Black school. And they had a school there that all the professors sent their kids to and stuff. And I was in that school, and doing and after school, I was the kid, when the football games was going on, you'll see me on the sideline throwing the ball with the quarterback.
Right.
Or when the basketball games are going on, I'm the kid sitting on the bench with the team and being on the court during halftime. I ain't had no business playing little ball on the court. Nobody else could get on the court, but they'll see this little kid out there shooting better than me. I was that kid, whatever. My best friend's mom was the track coach. I was that kind of. So I saw Black college people all my life. I just thought that was what you're supposed to do, go to college. I never thought that was a thing that you wasn't gonna do. Every Black person went to college, right? That's how I thought. So when it was time for me, I knew I was going to college, and I only applied to Howard. I only wanted to go to Howard. All those scholarship offers, all that. My dad made a mistake. He worked for the National Education Association, and in my 11th grade during spring break, he had this big meeting in DC. He was like, "Yo, you want to go to DC with me?" Yeah, it was cold as hell up in Boston. And I go to DC, but it was still cold in DC.
Right.
But I went there, he dropped me off at the steps of the Fine Arts Building around 11:45 on a Friday. And I'm sitting there just looking at all the history and all that.
And then noon hit, it start popping.
From 12 noon, that bell rung and them doors open and all them beautiful ladies came
out.
I
already said it was popping.
I was like, yo, I'm coming to Howard. I didn't write a letter to nowhere else. I did pretty good. I got, back in those days, I barely got 1,000 on my SAT, and that was good enough to get a acceptance for Howard. So I got accepted into Howard. If I didn't, I would have had to sit out for a semester because I didn't apply nowhere else. I came to HU and met Darnell my freshman year. We were both 17. And you know, and like I said, then that show finally came. And my goal was to not get booed. Like that was the only thing and as we went through our set, each song, we didn't, because I'm telling you, like some of the dopest performers were on that show and they all was getting booed, just not because they was whack, because they was dope. Like Eric Roberson, he was singing. The first time I heard Pretty Brown Eyes was from that. I didn't even hear Make Additions version yet. That's how I knew it was. And he was singing it and killing it. I was like, yo, because he could write songs. I thought he wrote that. And he was blowing it down. And then all of a sudden, it was boo. I was like, oh, y'all bugging. And then Sean Allen, Debbie Allen's niece, was up there singing. She used to sing all the national anthems for the Howard football game. And she ended up being signed this group called Pure Soul. They were signed to MCA.
Yeah, Pure Soul.
Blowing some song down, like killing some song.
Hey, what was that Pure Soul song?
We Must Be in Love.
We Must Be in Love.
Wedding song.
Or something like that too. I was in their videos. It was crazy. But she ain't got booed. And then my boy, an MC who did the song and everywhere that my crew goes, Tracy Lee.
Tracy Lee, yeah.
She had this dope song about dorm life, like called Creeping. You're creeping.
And they booed him too?
They just booed people because they was drunk. It was Friday night. It was like they wanted to be the Apollo so bad. They didn't hear what people was doing. They didn't care if he was dope. They just wanted to boo something. And so they booed him. So we was coming on. Like I said, my goal was like, yo, I am not feeling getting booed. I'm not trying to get booed. And it was a hostile crowd. And like I said, we came out with the 10, 9, 8. And we was behind the curtains doing that, right? So the crowd was like,
so just in case they boo, y'all didn't have to come out.
You said to move, right?
Y'all ain't have to face the crowd.
It was like injection, fellas. And then they opened the curtains and we came out with all this energy, doing all these boys to Motown Philly back again. We was doing all that, doing that little, we did all that. And then we did Please Don't Go Away. We did another song. And then when we did End of the was feeling it. We hadn't got booed. It was a moral victory in there. I was like, yo. And they around and gave us an encore? What? And now we like, yo, all our songs is on this DAT player that we was playing. Like, now what we gonna do? And we was on the stage like, yo, y'all wanna do our practice? You wanna do it forever? You know what I'm saying? All right, let's do it. Ooh, da doo 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 doo. Ooh, harmonies came in by that second hook. I swear, the big burly football dudes in the front row with the gas face on. It was like, we was like, yo, did you see 250-pound nose guard right there blowing our joint? So we was like, yo, let's try to go get a record deal. And that next week, we went up to New York to the Avenues of the Americas, where all the labels at that time, all the labels was on that street. And we went in it like Elektra, all these different labels, and dudes be on the phone, smoking a cigarette, listening to us to sing a cappella, not paying attention, you know, just fun. And we didn't get the deal up there, but when we came back, WPGC Radio in DC had a softball, you know, they used to play baseball games with the community at like parks and stuff. We gave them a demo. They loved it. They put it on this new thing they had called Home Jams, and it started blowing up. And off the strength of that, we had made our own little acapella demo, right, to service the labels. We gave it to MCA. They loved the song, but they were scared that it wouldn't get airplay because it was acapella, and it wasn't like Boys and Men, Coolie High, that was already known attached to the movie, you know, Coolie High Harmony. So they were like, some program directors might not play it between music songs. So they gave us a demo deal, gave us some money to record a music version, and contingent upon how dope or not that music version was, that was going to determine whether or not we got a real album deal. And so what y'all know is the music version was what we came up with. Okay. And as a matter of fact, when we finished that music version, mixing it, like 2 o'clock in the morning, we was coming out, getting in the car, I'm slobbering, and we turned on the radio. Now we've been hearing our song in the studio all day,